Greetings, Temple Beth Shalom. Rabbi Boxt here with Parashat Shavua. This week we are in Parashat Tzav from the book of Leviticus, chapter 6, verse 1 through chapter 8:36. So you pretty much already may know that the book of Leviticus primarily presents itself as relating to what's going on in the Sinai wilderness while they're at the camp. Moses goes in and out of the tent of meeting, having conversations with God, in which God is now telling Moses to tell the people all of the specific instructions that they need once they get into the land of Israel. This particular portion, Tzav, continues the laws of sacrifice, the different kinds of sacrifices, Olah, which is the burnt offering, Mincha, which is the meal offering, and Chatat, which is the purgation offering. But then also at the very end of the portion, there's a dedication of the tabernacle and an ordination of the priests. So that's what we get sort of differently in this portion. So we begin with the ritual of the burnt offering and all that is supposed to go on the altar pretty much every day, all day. And we're told that the burnt offering shall remain where it is burned upon the altar all night until the morning, while the fire on the altar is kept going on it. So what happens after that? Well, then the priest shall feed wood every morning to the fire on the altar, so that it's constantly going and never stopping. This perpetual fire, this ner tamid that is kept burning on the altar, shall not go out. And then we get to the meal offering. The meal offering is the mincha offering, and this is a handful of choice flour, oil of the meal offering, this is all to be unleavened. Nothing is to be leavened. It says, verse 10 of chapter 6, "It shall not be baked with leaven. I have given it as their portion, there being the priests, for my offerings by fire. It is most holy, like the purgation offering and the reparation offering. Only the males among Aaron's descendants may eat of it, as their due for all time throughout the ages from the eternal offerings by fire. Anything that touches these shall become holy." So then we move on to the ritual of the reparation offering. And the reparation offering is like the purgation offering. The same rules that apply to the purgation offering apply to the reparation offering. What's different is that the reparation offering is to be slaughtered at the spot where the burnt offering is slaughtered, blood being dashed on all sides of the altar. All of the fat shall be offered. The priest turns all of the things that are offered on the altar of fire to the eternal. It is in reparation for what has gone on. It says the reparation offering is like the purgation offering. The same rule applies to both. It shall belong to the priest who makes expiation thereby. So the priest is making expiation on behalf of somebody else. And then we get to the sacrifice of the well-being. It's a Thanksgiving. It's a Thanksgiving offering or a sacrifice of Thanksgiving. And then we come to a discussion about the rituals of the burnt offering, which we've already talked about before. But it's reminding us that these are some of the rituals about the meal offering, the purgation offering, the reparation offering, the offering of ordination, and the sacrifice of well-being. So let's talk a little bit about the anointing. Moses is commanded to take all of Aaron and his sons and all of their vestments and the anointing oil and the bull of purgation offering, assemble the community leadership at the entrance of the tent of meeting. Moses is going to bring Aaron and his sons forward and wash them with water. He puts the tunic on them, girds them with a sash, clothes them with a robe, and then he puts the ephod on him, girding him with a decorated band with which he tied it on him. He puts the breastpiece on him, and he puts into the breastpiece the Urim and the Tumim. These are the stones that are supposed to determine the result when people are brought in for if they're to be found if they're at fault or not for committing a sin. He puts the headdress on his head in front of he puts the gold frontlet and the holy diadem, and then Moses takes the anointing oil and anoints the tabernacle, and he then consecrates the tabernacle. He also pours some of the anointing oil on Aaron's head and anoints him to consecrate him. Moses then brings Aaron's sons forward and does similar things to his sons that he did to Aaron's sons that he did to Aaron. And the Torah portion ends with the following. Moses said to Aaron and his sons, "Boil the flesh at the entrance of the tent of meeting and eat it there with the bread that is in the basket of ordination as I commanded. Aaron and his sons shall eat it. What is left over of the flesh and the bread you shall consume in fire. You shall not go outside the entrance of the tent of meeting for 7 days, until the day that your period of ordination is completed. For your ordination will require 7 days. Everything done today the Eternal has commanded to be done 7 days to make expiation for you. You shall remain at the entrance of the tent of meeting day and night for 7 days, keeping the Eternal's charge that you may not die, for so I have been commanded." And Aaron and his sons did all the things that the Eternal had commanded through Moses. So this is the way that our Torah portion ends, is the ordination of Aaron and the consecration of him and his sons. And for that, I wish you an early Shabbat Shalom.